All right, Thomas. So this is just going to be kind of a tutorial video on how to use Desmos graphing calculator, something that you're already familiar with, and use that to graph your transformation project. So the first thing that you need to remember or you need to know is that when you input ordered pairs, um, you want to input the ordered pairs in the way that you want the lines connected. So if you remember, once you made your shape, we went around and labeled your shape A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So you have to make sure that you put the ordered pairs in order that they're going to be connected, not necessarily in the order of your name, how you generated it. So here's what I mean. So I'm just going to say that point A, so I'm going to use a capital letter A equals, then I'm just going to name an ordered pair, and I'm going to give it the name or the point -4, 2. And so I'm just going to kind of work my way around the coordinate grid. So point B equals, I'm going to call point B -2, 5. Point C, I'm going to give that the ordered pair. Whoops. I'm going to make point C be the ordered pair 0, 7. And then let's make point D. So D equals, we're going to call D 2, 4. I'm making this up as I go along, okay? E, I'm going to call E the ordered pair 4, -1. Trying to just make a shape in my brain, I guess. I'm going to call F the ordered pair. F equals, I'm going to give it the point 2, -2. And I'm going to label point G. I'm going to say that point G equals -1, -4. Because I know that my graph is looking at me in twos right now. It's counting by twos, but I can smidge that out a little bit. And then my last ordered pair, I want to say point H, because I think you need to have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I know your project has 8 points, so I want to show you something with 8 points. So we're going to say H equals, let's make it -3, -2. -3, -2. So this is my, whoops, I have an extra parenthesis there. So these are my ordered pairs, and you can actually click this little right here where it says label, and it'll label the points for you. And that'll be helpful when you go to do your transformation. That might help you just to see those. So now I want to connect all of these. So I'm going to type in the word polygon, Polygon, parenthesis, and then I'm going to put all my my points in there. So capital A, comma, capital B, comma, capital C, comma, capital D, comma, capital E, capital F, capital G, and capital H. And when I close my parenthesis, close my parenthesis, there's my polygon, okay? So it has created a polygon for me, which is really cool. And I can actually click on the little image. I'm not sure if you're watching in the video. If I go up here under settings, this little gear, I can change the colors. I'm pretty limited. I mean, I don't have a multiple, like a plethora of colors, but I can still change the colors. So now let's talk about your project. In your project for your logo or your emblem, you had to make 2 transformations. So your first one could be a translate, reflect, or rotate. So I thought it would kind of be cool to do a rotate 180 degrees, just to show you what that looks like. So I know that when I rotate something 180 degrees, the X and the Y coordinate change signs. The X and the Y change signs. So every ordered pair X comma Y transforms to the opposite of X, the opposite of Y. So I'm just going to look at my points in my table right here. I can see my ordered pairs. So A prime, so I'm going to use apostrophe, equals the ordered pair. So I'm going to change the sign of my X and my Y. 4, comma, -2. Point B prime B apostrophe. Is it not liking the prime? Let's see. Sorry, I don't understand the use of prime notation. Okay, so maybe we'll just call it let us do A1. It will. It'll let us do A sub 1. So that's what we're going to call it, A sub 1, because it doesn't understand prime. So then B sub 1 is going to be the ordered pair. Let's see. B is negative 2, 5. So it's going to be positive 2, negative 5. And then C sub 1, oops, let me make that a capital C, sorry. C sub 1 is going to be the ordered pair. Instead of 0, 7, it's going to be 0, negative 7. Right? Because we're just changing the sign. I forgot an equals. That's why it's giving me this little triangle is kind of like a caution. If you're driving on the road and you see a little triangle, that means it's caution. So that's telling me I'm doing something wrong. I forgot my equals sign. So D sub 1 equals opposite of X and Y, negative 2, negative 4. And E sub 1 equals, E is 4, negative 1. So I'm going to make it negative 4, positive 1. And F sub 1 equals 2, negative 2. So I'm going to make it negative 2, positive 2. And I know this is tedious. I'm sorry. G sub 1 equals negative 1, negative 4. So I'm going to make that positive 1, positive 4. And the last one, H sub 1 equals, whoops, let's get that down to where it's supposed to be. H sub 1 equals, so instead of negative 3, negative 2, I'm going to make it positive 3, positive 2. So now I have my shape that's been rotated 180 degrees. And so I'm going to type in, I want a polygon. So polygon, parenthesis, and I'm going to do A sub 1, comma. Oops, I have to make it capitalized. A sub 1, comma, B sub 1, comma, C sub 1, comma, D sub 1, comma, E sub 1, comma, F sub 1, comma, G sub 1, comma, H sub 1, parenthesis. So I've rotated my shape 180 degrees. And then your last transformation, you remember, is a dilation. Your last transformation has to be a dilation on your project. So remember, a dilation is just multiplying everything. We're going to take all of our A primes, B primes, C primes, or A sub 1, B sub 1, and we're going to multiply it. So I'm going to try to do A sub 2 and see if it'll let me do that, and that will work. So A sub 2, if I want to make this, if I want to dilate this twice, make it 2 times the size, I'm just going to multiply everything by 2. So every coordinate in the ordered pair gets multiplied by 2. So A sub 2 equals 8, comma, negative 4. B sub 2 equals, let's see, 2 and negative 5. That's going to be 4 and negative 10. C sub 2 equals 0, negative 7 is going to be 0, negative 14. D sub 2 equals negative 2, negative 4 times 2 is going to be negative 4, negative 8. E sub 2 equals negative 4, 1 is going to be negative 8, comma 2, because I'm multiplying by 2. Almost done. F sub 2 equals negative 2, 2, so that's going to be negative 4, 4. G sub 2 equals 1, 4, so that's going to be actually multiplying by 2, 2, 8, 2, comma 8. And my last one, H 3, 2 is going to be 6, 4. So H sub 2 equals 6, comma 4. So I have dilated my shape, and now I want to see that polygon. So again, I'm going to type in polygon, parenthesis, and now I'm going to do A sub 2, comma, B sub 2, comma, C sub 2. And I'm saying sub 2, but all I'm doing is hitting C2. The 2 is automatically dropping down. Comma, D sub 2, comma, E sub 2. Whoops. sub 2, comma, f sub 2, comma, g sub 2, comma, h sub 2. And I believe what am I doing? What's my little error? So I'm going to go to this and it says, function polygon cannot be applied to these assignments. What is the matter? Well, I don't know why function polygon cannot be assigned to those unless we change the letters. What if instead of, let me try it because I want to make it work for you. So instead of we're going to use the same letters, but we're going to go after H. So H is going to be, this is going to become capital I. We're just going to name this capital I, capital J, capital K, capital L, capital M, capital N, capital O, capital P, and let's make this polygon, what was my first one? I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Let's see what it does now. Why is it still not working? What am I doing wrong? Polygon, am I spelling it right? Polygon. I don't know. I'm wondering if it's maybe because there are 2 polygons on there. So what if I mute one of them? It's still not letting me. Well, stinker. Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to at least get this far, and if we need to, when we print it, I'll get in there and help you connect the dots. Okay, once we get in there, I will help you connect the points. I'm sure it's that I've made an error. Honestly, I'm sure that I've made a ×2 error because I know that I was dilating by a scale factor of 2. Let's see, 8, 4, 2, -10. Yep. So 0, 14, 4, 8, 4, 4. Ooh, it's, nope, 4, 4, 2, 8, and So I'm not 100% sure, Thomas, but I want you to try it. I want you to try it. And like I said, if we need to just get that last dilation in there and then we connect the points. So if you can get this far, if you can get something this far and save it, you can either screenshot it or you can just save it on your computer screen. And then tomorrow I'll show you how to screenshot it, or actually you can name name it and you might be able to save it and send it to me. We'll figure it out and we'll get you taken care of. Okay. So I hope this helps. I want you to be excited about it. And I actually learned something new. There's honestly a really cool program called Desmos Geometry that I used to use in my geometry classes in Indiana. I just don't feel like that's something that I can teach you in a short video. So I'm hoping that you're actually excited about trying to do a couple of your transformations using this. I hope it makes it easier for you. And I just want you to know I appreciate you. Thanks.